What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Happy middle of the week. Happy hump day. How's everyone doing? I think we're starting like a few seconds early today. My clock didn't actually hit 5 p.m. yet on the on my computer when I hit stream, but how's everyone? So, we have some membership renewals that are coming in after the month. Let's see. Oh wow, there's 3 of them back to back. That was Stalefish, 4-month streak. We got Shauner, who's on a 4-month streak as well. And then next up is going to be Jacob Vincent on a 10-month streak. So thanks for the continued support. And I will put up all the channel members here. Thanks to all the channel members. Sorry, I'm still sick. But thank you to all the channel members, as well as people gifting memberships. You know who you are, Doback Slaps. As well as a few others. Jason being one of them as well. But yeah, so I'm still sick. I've been sick this entire past week. I've not been posting like anything on Twitter. I've just been offline for the most part, trying to recover. I don't know what I had. I'm getting better, but the whole week I've had a fever of like around 100 to 101. So not enough to go to the doctor because I think that's like 102. But also like I took COVID test. It wasn't COVID. Nah, it wasn't COVID. No one else got sick from the land either. I'm thinking it was maybe West Nile disease, which if you can see on my arms, all my mosquito bites are still here. But this is just one arm. I have some on this arm as well. And then on my legs, there's mosquito bites all over. So given how many mosquito bites I gotten, I'm thinking it must have been West Nile or something mosquito related. So I've just been trying to get better. But yeah, so that's been kind of sucking. But last week I had like 0 energy going into the stream, but we we had a good stream. Sorry about the coughing throughout the stream, by the way. I'm going to try to suppress it as much as possible, but it's kind of hard. But yeah, so hopefully this stream can get me some energy as well, as I still try to finish recovering. But yeah, these are not mosquito bites. Honestly, at one point, it was rashing a bit, and I felt like I was turning into a zombie. I was pale because of how sick I felt, as well as like all this crap developing on my arm. But yeah. Let's see. So, like I was saying, I do have this feature. So I can bring up highlighted comments. So let's say this Jesse Buies is asking, there's an RTX 2060 for sale going on for $250 right now. Do I buy or wait? I think for $250 you do not get the RTX 2060. This is what you get. And this is pinned in the comments thanks to Kevin Go, our resident pre-stream deal finder. But this is what you get if you have $250 right now, because there's a promo code going on. This is a ridiculous deal, by the way. You're getting an RX 6600, which outperforms the RTX 2060. You're getting this brand new. I don't know if the one that you found was brand new or not. I'm guessing not. Because those are just hard to find new, especially for that price nowadays. And there's a $10 promo code off, bringing this to $250. And you get a free gift of this bundle. It's worth $180, they say. It's because there's 3 games worth potentially $60. But Saints Row, I'm actually pretty interested in. So yeah, if you have $250 right now, you buy this. You do not buy a used RTX 2050. I would not spend more than $200 on an RTX, or not 2050, a 2060. Yeah. Unless you're not in the US. If you're not in the US, then that's a different story. Then if $250 for a 2060 is the best deal you can find, then yeah, go for that. But yeah, so this is pretty nice. I live in EU, we use different sites. Okay, yeah, so if that's the case and there's no sales going on, I mean, what's the price of the 6600 in the EU right now? Is there any in the used market you can look at? It's just, I'm guessing when you say 250, is that US equivalent? That's not a good value in my opinion in the US. And drink water. Thank you for the reminder for the drinking water, Kevin. Any good videos on encoder comparisons? Yes, actually, let's see, EPOS Box made a new video recently. I still need to finish watching it, But it's actually covering the AV1 encoder on the new Intel graphics cards. But if you want encoder related stuff, I would say my go-to is Epos Fox, Adam or Addy. So check him out if you want encoder related stuff. So Kale130 says the universe needs to align between my wallet and these deals. Would you pick this up if you had enough money? I'm sad I didn't pick this up because this is the reason why. This is the Power Color Fighter card. So let me get this out of the way real quick. This is the Power Color Fighter RX 6600 that I bought brand new on Amazon during Prime Day deals. This was going for $255. Does anyone remember? I didn't get an email about getting any free game bundle. So I think I bought this because during Prime Day it was a good deal. And I would say it's still a good deal. It's just right now there's a little bit better of a deal. But I don't know if this came with a game bundle. Does anyone remember during Prime Day when this fighter card was on sale, if there was? But I'm very excited because I'm not releasing a video this week because I'm working on something pretty big. And I guess I can just tell you all, but I'm making a video about StockX. And as you can see, this graphics card is not in its original box. I took it out because I sent StockX that box with this graphics card not in it. So that's going to be the upcoming video. I've recruited Tech by Matt to help me on that. So there's going to be a small collab thing going on there. But I'm super excited about this video because in the video, I attempt to get a fake graphics card through StockX's authentication. I can't say too much after that, but be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping, you know, authentication and everything goes through and smoothly, and then we'll have a pretty cool video. Hey, what's up, Jonathan Talks Hardware? Hope you had a good nap. Okay, Craig Lilly says, regarding the video title, you buy or wait. He says, I'm choosing the option not listed. Make do with what I have. That's actually a very good option. So, let's see. So I want to talk about the main thumbnail and the title first before we get into everything else. And later on, we can look at deals. We can look at pre-builts if you guys want. We can look at PC Partpicker list. We'll do all the normal stuff, but there's a lot of talk right now. You know, every time I'm on social media, people are asking, should I buy or should I wait? It's in the YouTube comments all over the place because we are kind of right around the corner from new stuff being released. We've got Intel 13th gen, AMD's new AM5 stuff. We've got the new generations of graphics cards from both sides. So a lot of people are kind of anxious and kind of wondering what they should do with regards to waiting or buying right now. So I wanted to run some polls first because I think that's going to help us see what kind of, like, what everyone's situation is in the audience. So I'm going to ask our first poll of the night. And thank you to everyone who is always participating in these and joining in on the discussion because I think this is very useful to do. Okay. I think some of my options are too long. I'm going to have to edit some of them. Give me 1 second. Just copying and pasting them over. Okay. So the first poll is going to be, what is your current PC situation? So you either don't have one and you can't afford one. You don't have one, but you do have money to buy one. You have one, but it's good enough for now. And then you have one, but it needs upgrading now. Like you're on like some Optiplex or Haswell or something like that. That's pretty old. Yeah, Shane Eslick, you're making a good point. You think the tier will affect your choice as they normally start with the higher end graphics cards first for the people who can't wait, basically, before they start releasing like the mid to lower end graphics cards. Those always have a delayed release. I don't recall if the RTX 3070 was that released at the same time as the 3080. I forget if there's any delay between those. So majority of the votes so far are going with have one, but it's not. But it's good for now. Okay, so that's good to hear. Actually, that more than half of the people in the audience are on a PC that's working and it's serving them well. It would be bad if like everybody watching did not have a PC and could not afford one, but those are less than 10%. And only 7% don't have one, but they're ready to buy now. So there's not actually that much people who are in this kind of weird predicament of whether they should buy or wait. The toughest situation to be in is if you do not have a PC right now, because you don't have anything to hold you over. Michael Levolte says, I do not think you can truly be on a budget if you have no patience. I'm never ever in a hurry. That's true. Yeah, it's hard to budget and save money and find deals and stuff if you need to like buy everything like all at once. If you can give yourself like a few weeks to a month to like slowly accumulate parts, that's when you can find all the best deals and get the best price on your computer. So the Freak House. I ordered my first PC today. Congrats. What did you order from and from where? I'm curious to hear. Jason Whitmer with his troll comment. Just make more money. That's true. Why can't we all just make more money? Why can't the government just give us a what's it called? Universal basic income. That would be nice, right? Do you know any good cheap PC cases? Jesse Buies ask. Honestly, cheap PC cases aren't what they used to be. A couple years ago, you could find PC case deals for like 20, 25, 30 bucks. Right now, like the starting for PC cases is like 40 to 50 bucks, and that's like the bottom of the barrel kind of crap cases. But you're only 20 to $30 away from actual good cases during sales. So I wouldn't really go for cheap cases unless you're like what I just did in my most recent build video, trying to target like under 500 bucks or something like that, where you have to cut corners. And I admitted the case isn't the best case that I used, but it was to get the price down. Plus, I like the handle. So, more income equals more inflation. What if more income means less profits to the already, billionaire CEOs that don't actually need all that money, and the wealth is just spread around more? How about that? Okay. Shane Eslick says it's crazy that in Australia we have some cases that are cheaper than what we have them here in the US for. Yeah, I don't know. The case market in the last couple of years have been pretty weird. So, all right, we got plenty of votes in. I'm gonna end the poll. So, majority of the people do have a PC and they're good with it right now. Less than 10% of people don't have one and can't afford one, and less than 10% don't have one and are ready to buy. And then almost a quarter of the people have one but needs upgrading. So their parts are starting to get old. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask a second poll question before we start getting to this discussion of buying or waiting. Let's hope this fits. It does not. So I gotta edit this. Okay. So this is a hypothetical question. If you were, hypothetically, if you were without a PC at this very moment, for whatever reason, someone came and stole it, yours just blew up, caught on fire, etc., what are you doing? Are you buying right now to replace it, or are you waiting for next gen? And when I say waiting for next gen, I'm talking about the actual next gen that's coming around the corner, that's expected in Q4 2022. And I've not seen any solid leaks about actual hard release dates. So we don't know if that means September. I've just seen Q4 tossed around the most. So we're talking about September, October, November, December. It could fall in any of those months. But yeah, what do you do? I'm buying right now. I need my computer. I use it every single day. So yeah, to me, I'm not a person that operates in the range where getting the newest, latest, most high performing stuff matters. Like the high end stuff that exists right now that are currently price dropped, they are going to perform similar to the mid tier stuff that's coming out. So I'm good with mid to upper mid tier. Jason plays games too. Aren't you paying a premium for the latest? Yeah, that's true. That's also another reason why I wouldn't wait. Because a lot of people are really excited for all the new stuff to come out. But you got to remember, everything coming out is going to be DDR5. So it's already going to be more expensive memory. But like motherboards, I'm not sure if you remember, motherboards on release, they usually only have the higher end chipsets. They don't release the lower end chipsets for a little bit, and those higher end chipsets, just because it's so limited, they're usually pretty expensive. You're not finding $100 motherboards typically on like new release. They're closer to like $300 to $400 for the most part. So those are all things that you need to take into account when you decide whether or not you want to wait for next gen stuff, or if you want to just buy right now. And you got to remember, like I said earlier, everything that exists right now, because it's not brand new, it already has taken price slashes from whatever price it released at. And, places like Micro Center, Newegg, they're giving bundle deals as well as just more discounts as we get closer to next gen. Micro Center specifically are giving crazy discounts on top of what they already normally do. Wait, Shane Eslick says he has an Athlon 200 GE. That's your main, that's like your main system? Or is that just like a system you just mess around with? I was not aware that you were running on that budget of hardware, Shane. Oh, no. You said my Athlon 200 will get me through if my gaming PC dies. Okay, so you do have a different PC. Yeah. Did someone ask a question about my monitor? Let's see. Other Danny has a question. I just got a new 3070 Ti for $482 weeks ago. Should I have waited? No. 3070 Ti, it's hard to find a 3070 right now for $480. A 3070 Ti is a decent step up, and those are going for more. So $480 for that, I say that's a good deal. Do not wait if you could find deals like this one right now. Justin Stewart had a question about my monitor. I use a 1440p ultra wide, and it's a 100 and I can't remember. It's 144. It's 144 hertz, not 165. But yeah, it was a Costco Acer monitor. I think I got it like 2 years ago. My wife bought it for me for Christmas because I asked her to. How long will graphics cards stay cheap? So I've seen some rumors. There's not a ton of rumors going out, but I've seen some rumors that people are expecting graphics card prices to go back up. I think Tech Yes City is one of the channels that covered or made a video about that. Honestly, none of this stuff is predictable. And that's another reason why I would say I would agree with Jay. I don't agree with him calling people idiots, right? But I would say if you have money saved up now, especially if you're operating on the low end, because whatever stuff that's coming out, unless you're ready to pay for like, the top SKUs of like graphics cards and CPUs and stuff, it's not even going to be ready by Q4. It's going to be into next year. This graphics card that we're looking at right here, if you are ready to buy and you have less than $1,000, you're not going to be able to get anything else from the newer generation for a while. The new generation of graphics cards from Nvidia or from Nvidia or from AMD, they're not going to release anything sub $300 for a long time. So stuff like this, if you need it, you need to hop on it like right now. Yeah, 14R Chico. The RTX 3070s are going for pretty, or whenever Best Buy does their drops, they're going for pretty much MSRP at Best Buy. And it's more common that people are able to pick up these deals without them instantly going away. So, I would say 3070 for MSRP. If you are Team Nvidia and you don't want to get AMD, I would say 500 for a 3070 performance right now isn't too bad. Okay, so let's end the poll. We got plenty of votes. If you were without a PC at this very moment, do you wait or buy, for next gen or buy now? It was actually a pretty kind of close split, 40-60. Hey, we got a super chat from Jonathan. Jonathan Talks Hardware. Thanks for the $2 super chat. I buy things right now if I flip PCs for money. Yeah. So if you're flipping PCs, you have to buy right now. There's no waiting for next gen. Plus, I don't even, yeah, next gen flipping, to be able to flip successfully, you need to be able to either buy things that are price cut or just used, because that's how you're gonna make money on it. If you're buying stuff that is currently brand new, which usually doesn't hit sales or have like discounts or anything like that, buying at MSRP is not really considered flipping, because then you're just providing a service of building for a build fee. So yeah, it's the used and kind of like older 1 to 2 gen old stuff is I would say for flipping is kind of like the target hardware to go for. Okay. EE says, I have questions. Should I wait for the 4000 RTX laptop series? Since my laptop is good for now, it's a Ryzen 5 4500U. Okay, so that's with integrated graphics. It runs great. Don't have any money right now. Yes. I'm grinding money right now. Should you wait? I think it sounds like you can only wait. You say you don't have the money right now. I'm grinding money. So keep saving money and wait for the new series of laptops to come out. Because, yeah, going from your APU to a next-gen RTX laptop, that would be a huge performance uplift. And you don't really have any other option. Watermelon asks, what RGB strips do I use? I use Govee RGB strips. They're like the cheap $15 to $20 ones that can be controlled by your phone. On Amazon. Govee is just one of the most, well-known RGB strip companies, and yeah, they're cheap and they had a sale. What's the feature where the questions show? So this is a new extension that I got because sometimes when I'm answering people's questions in chat, people have no idea who the heck I'm answering. So now, when I put this up and I'm talking, people can know what the context of what I'm saying is if they missed it initially when I read it off, or if they just joined the stream halfway. So I'm liking this so far. It also gets you guys on the screen, which, I'm always for, highlighting people in the community. So, yeah. Okay, yes, or yes, 2706. On Twitter, I'm gonna open up later on. You can tweet at me whatever your issue is. Maybe we can read it out loud and see if we can come up with a fix like together as a group. But yeah, you can tag me on Twitter with what your PC issue is. We'll do that later on in the stream. Okay, so we ran the 2 polls. What rumors have you guys been hearing regarding the latest generation of stuff coming out? Have any of you read anything reputable from people who are reputable, who have a track record of correctly predicting stuff? When do you think AMD 7000 series graphics cards, RTX 4000, Intel 13th gen, and AM5 is coming out? You're thinking September 15th gaming servers for Ryzen 7 7,000. Where'd you get that information from? I'm curious. I'm seeing multiple people say, Brian Robinson also saying September 15. Heard from Jay that I'm an idiot. Can confirm as I'm September 2022. Okay, Moore's Law is dead. I would definitely trust that more. Yeah, Moore's Law is dead. He has like actual insider connections and stuff like that. And he doesn't just like piggyback off of other people's articles. It's, if anything, a lot of the other tech outlets I've seen, they report on what he reports, which is kind of, it feels like lazy journalism, right? Where all these different tech outlets, as soon as one source gets the scoop, they're all basically paraphrasing and regurgitating what the original source said. And all the articles basically sound alike. They just put things into like thesaurus and synonym finder to change the wording up a little bit. But okay, September. Shane Neslick says he don't care about any of that until they're on the shelves. I would start caring about it once we start seeing launch events and, you know, the launch streams and all that. Jason Whitmer thinks Apple stuff is announced in September. I don't think NVIDIA will crowd that. I don't follow Apple stuff, so I don't know when Apple and like PC tech has ever coincided together, or if they ever did. So Gamers Nexus also confirmed that. I have not seen any tweet or whatever video that was in. I didn't see, so maybe I need to go find that. Jonathan Talks Hardware. Why are you spamming? It's dark in my end since I'm from the East State. Please stop spamming. For me, I think we're still September's a month away. But announcements and actual launch and like being able to see it from retailers to be able to buy and get it into your hands, that's still a couple, if not a few months out, right? So for me, when it comes to buying or waiting, I don't think it's ever worth it to really wait, unless you are operating with like thousands of dollars to be able to buy the highest end stuff. Like right now, like I said earlier, I would just buy like an i7 or a Ryzen 7, and yeah, sure, the performance of the new like Ryzen 5s and i5s are gonna be around the same and maybe possibly beat it, but those are gonna be more expensive, and it's still months away. 3060 versus 3070, buying used, $50 to $100 difference. I would go 3070 if the difference is between $50 to $100. Yeah, I would go 3070. You just ordered a PC from 900 on Amazon. Ryzen 5600 with a 6700 XT. Freak house. That is crazy value. Do you have a link for that? That's really good value. Unless they put like 8 gigabytes of RAM, like a 500-watt crap power supply in it, bad case, and like, I don't know, A320 motherboard. The graphics card alone makes up half the price of that build. So if you were to actually pick it up for 900, what brand is it from, or what company? Danny Carbajal says, I never wait because I feel like there's always something else to wait for. Wait for GPUs to go down, and now it's wait for the next gen. Yeah. There's always something coming around the corner. I think the biggest thing that people who don't want to wait is they forget how much stuff is discounted right now. It's not like you're buying parts that are 2 years old at the MSRP still. AMD cards anyways are below MSRP, so and we really have I have no idea what the stock of the new stuff is going to be. Honestly, everything is going to sell out on the graphics card side. CPU and motherboards on new releases, typically I haven't seen them be out of stock that badly, but I mean in the last 4 or 5 years, mining did really take a toll on the graphics card market, whereas CPUs, you don't need to buy as many and line them up in a row and stuff like people do with graphics cards. So it's gonna be interesting to see with mining apparently, just continuing to go downhill, what's gonna happen on this new release, and if they could stay in stock, or if not, come back in stock relatively quickly after the initial launch day. Hey, what's up, cringy cap? No problem. You just woke up. Kevin Ngo with the water reminder. Thank you. RTX 3090 for 600 by September? That still seems that seems way too low. September is a month away, remember that. So, if we were to look at the 3090 right now, the cheapest 3090 on Newegg, I know there's going to be EVGA, I don't count B stock, we're talking new here. They're still over $1,200. To take a 50% price reduction in the span of a month, or maybe 2 months if we're going to the end of September, no way it's hitting 600. The cards are still very powerful. In September, I don't think the new cards are gonna be ready and available, so I'm still thinking these sit around maybe 800. Oh, used. If you're talking used, 600 after mining. Let's look at what the used market is then. If we are talking used, do an eBay search for RTX 3090s. You can buy them now for $929. If I wanted to look at the cheapest buy now, though, some parts only. You can get them pre-owned for supposedly in working condition from Ukraine. From this has 0 rating though. See, so that's display not working. Let's look at this one. This is also from Ukraine. 0. It's hard to say, right? There's legit pictures here, I guess, but you can also find these off of Reddit, or you could just post your card and not have the intention of selling it. Let's see the description. Where's the description at? I just saw it. Seller's note: in use for 1.5 years, 17 months at most. Excellent working condition. Wasn't opened, cleaned from dust a month ago. Not repaired, not refurbished, not faulty. Okay, so this might be a real one. I just find it pretty sketchy to send someone this much money with 0 ratings, even though they could be legit. So, mind the dip. Jason Whitmer says, Danny, I refuse to buy AMD cards from flips anymore. They straight up don't sell. Wait, what card are you talking about specifically? Which card did you buy from a flip? How much was it? And how much were you trying to sell it for? You got a 6600. Okay. Was that brand new or used? Hey, what's up, Death? So we're waiting on the details from Jason about why he refuses to buy AMD cards for flips. Oh, to buy AMD, you mean buying it brand new from Amazon, putting into a PC to flip or sell for your additional build fees. They just don't sell. New build okay, I see what you're saying. So you are you don't want to put, you're kind of going like the route of the system integrators. How if you look at system integrators, none of them offer AMD cards in their configurations. All of them just go down to like a RTX 3050 instead of offering a 6600, which is better value. So AMD, okay. So assignment right now. Can any of you in the chat find me a pre-built from a system integrator that has a mid to entry level AMD card in it? So we're talking 6600, 6600 XT, or 6700 XT. I'm pretty sure system integrators are putting in like the 6900 XTs and stuff like that. But for the mid to upper mid range stuff, do you know of any system integrator that puts AMD graphics cards in their builds that you can buy right now? And if so, what is it? HP Omen? Let's take a look at that. This is one of my biggest complaints because I don't think people are switching to AMD since a lot of people are getting into the PC space. They don't even have the option to. So HP Omen AMD GPU. Oh yeah, you're right. HP Omens, because we're seeing those on eBay. They're being pulled out of the system. But okay, let's look at their desktops. HP Omen. So I mean, just looking at their front page right here, we got a 3090, 3080, 3060 Ti, 3090, 3080, 3090, 3060 Ti, 3070. So the front page featured stuff is all NVIDIA. I'm not. Oh, here we go. 6600 XT for 1050. So we got one out of like 15. Let's take a look at this. Beautiful details. So we got this white case. Okay. It's actually a pretty sleek looking case. So we have a Ryzen 7 processor. Okay, why don't you just say what it is? We do have a 6600 XT in, which I'm actually surprised to see. But it seems like the ratio of how many computers they offer with AMD cards in it seems to match the ratio of people who have AMD versus NVIDIA in the wild. Which, you know, NVIDIA just has the majority market share. So what does this thing have in it? Is it 5700G? Okay, pretty interesting combination there. 16 gigs of RAM, 1.5 terabytes of storage total. This actually isn't too bad of a price for a pre-built with the markups and everything like that, considering the parts in there. You can build it for cheaper, but you know, they gotta throw on their fees and stuff, so that's not too bad. Okay, we got a question from Garlic Man. I want to get a 1200 for the best price possible. How do I think you should do that? It's either gonna be eBay, if you're in the States. It's gonna be I think Amazon open box or eBay used. I don't think OfferUp. Yeah, so I'm looking up 12100 and 12100F. These processors, the 12100s, are so popular and cheap. I don't see many people just selling them like single. I think most of the people are buying them and using them. And they're so new that there's not that many in the used market on places like OfferUp. But I'm sure there's going to be some on eBay. The question is, we'll look for both. How much are they going to be? Because at this, I'm totally okay with buying used processors. But look, we're looking at buy it now, lowest prices. They're going for basically what you can get them brand new on eBay. So now we're going to look on Amazon to see if there's any open box. Oh, did the price go up on these? 140? These were not this much, like, recently. Okay, let me look at the F model. 12100F. So if you look at Amazon, it's 140 for brand new, but where's the... Ooh, there's no used options. Okay. 12100s, did people just learn the secret of the 12100 recently? You can get one for 120, which I would say is not the best price. You're really looking for closer to like 100 to 110. Let's look at Newegg. We got, let's see. Ooh, yeah, so there's something going on. 12100 prices are back up. So I would just say, oh, here we go. Here's 110. and it's from Newegg, sold and shipped by Newegg, with the $5 additional off. So this is the best 1200 you're gonna get. It's also gonna be the 1200F. So I'm assuming you're gonna put it with the graphics card, hopefully, so you can take advantage of this discount, because otherwise you're spending, you know, $130 to get the integrated graphics. Whereas over here you got it at $105. Okay, we got 21 B Talk says paired my 6700 XT with a 12100F. That thing is a freaking beast. I got mine on Newegg. Yeah. So the 6700 XT, it sounds like way too powerful graphics card for a 12100F, but if you're playing at 1440p and you're playing some of the more demanding titles that are going to be, you know, stressing and leveraging the 6700 XT more, you could have a good gaming experience. This is what I think a lot of people would say is a bottleneck, this pairing of GPU and CPU, but I can see situations where it's fine, and if you're purely a gamer, you know, you don't need any more processing power. So yeah, save the money and get the fat graphics card. Allocate the funds where it will give you the best performance out of the gaming PC you're making. So Baka Emoto Chan says Intel planning a price hike for their product. I mean, this is just for the 12. Let's look at 12400F. Yeah, these are going up in price too. What the heck? 154? These were like 130 not too long ago. And it's across the board too, like on every platform. It's not just like a single platform. So I was gonna try to do a budget build coming up soon. I might have to go back to AMD, which, to be honest, I haven't done like a build with like the newer Ryzen 5 5500 or 5600 non-X, but it's looking like the prices for these have gone up for whatever reason. The one lad says, perhaps a 3090 Ti and 1200F. Okay, we gotta draw the line somewhere. The line is at a 3090 Ti with a 1200F. That is a pretty bad pairing. Dell had a couple of Alienware desktops with AMD 6700 XTs and 6800 XTs. The only issue is Dell Alienware desktop. Let's take a look at this. I haven't looked at Alienware for a while. Oh, and let's see. Yeah, does Dell make any Alienware desktops that don't look completely stupid like this? Like Gamers Next said, over-designed, way too much crap going on, so many like little latches and like moving parts. This is so unnecessarily overbuilt, and it's an ugly case that I don't remember if it's proprietary or not in terms of what hardware you can fit into it, but like I have zero interest in Alienware desktops if they only look like this and they don't use like standard, you know, square tempered glass towers. So let's look at Dell desktop. I think if you want like a non-stupid looking case, I think you have to look for a like an XPS desktop or something, right? Yeah, then you'll get something slightly more normal looking. But apparently Alienware, let's take a look. Shop Alienware at what their AMD selection is. So let's take a look. We got 3090 here. Let me zoom this in. 3090, 3060 Ti, 1650 Soup. They're selling, oh my god, $1,300 for a gaming computer that has a 1650 Super in it. $1,300. That is horrible. Look at these two PCs side by side next to each other. These, not those two. I have to show right here. Look at these two side by side. We got Jonathan with a Jonathan Talks Hardware sent a $2 super chat. What's the best PC $200 that you can flip for $400? If you're flipping a $200 PC for $400, you're likely gonna be scamming the person who's paying $400. Because for $200, you're very limited to like buying older hardware. You're limited to like Ivy Bridge, Sandy Bridge, maybe Haswell if you're lucky. But if you're flipping that for double, I don't care how much work you put into it. There's no way whoever's paying $400 for that PC, unless you got parts for free or something, is going to be getting good value out of that. Yeah, so the one on the right's actually not bad value. It has, oh wait, there's no SSD. It looks like, yeah, they would have put SSD in here, but we got a 1 terabyte hard drive, so no SSD according to this. And then we have 16 gigs of RAM standard, 3060, which is still going for like what, 400 right now. Windows 11, and then Ryzen 7. Why in the world would you pay an extra $100? It's because this one's on sale, I guess. This one's on sale right now. But right now, between these two, this is just embarrassing to be sitting next to this, costing $100 more, and it has a 1650 Super in it, which is blown away by the 3060. So yeah, Alienware, where is there? Yeah, here we go. We got AMD stuff, and yeah, so it's gonna be the high end, which is kind of what I expected. Like, which isn't, I don't feel like is the best value. Like, the value play for people who have like around $1,000 is the 6600 and the 6600 XT, but yeah, the SIs just do not seem to want to use it. They would rather use a 1660 Ti, as we can see right here. There's a 6700 XT, which is a bit surprising to see in a $1,200 build. This is actually not bad, except for the fact that you have this Alienware ugly case. Okay, so we got a couple of questions. We have a super chat from Muhammad. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going for a Razer theme. Is the Maingear R1 Razer Edition somewhat a good value? Okay, so what is the... So I'm guessing this is a pre-built. Maingear R1 Razer Chroma compatible. Do you know which one? Razer Edition? R1 Razer. Is this one, right? Is this the one we're looking at? 1759, Muhammad? So we're getting to the part of the stream where we already answered the question, do you buy or wait? It depends. But we're getting to the part of the stream, which I've actually been enjoying a lot. Looking at all these different pre-builts, because there's so many out there, and a lot of people are questioning which ones are good value or not. But let me know if this is the right one, Muhammad. From what I've seen in PC builder forums, people want cards for DLSS, ray tracing, and the encoder. The encoder thing, I mean, AMD's getting some improvements on the encoder. I use the encoder for every video I've uploaded since I've built this new PC, as well as using the encoder right now to do this stream, and when we did gameplay and stuff too. So I've had zero issues with AMD's encoder. Ray tracing, when I had a ray tracing graphics card in my system, I never enabled it. I never wanted to take the hit in FPS. DLSS does make sense, but we do have Fidelity FX super resolution as well. So like AMD's, I don't think should be trailing that far behind in market share as much as they are based on their competition to Nvidia and their prices. No, okay, Garlic Man, I'll answer your question in a second, but let's see, Muhammad. Okay, so this is the PC Muhammad wants to take a look at. Shane, can you queue up the Australian PC you wanted to look at, just so we can compare American and Australian prices? Which pre-built, if you're still there, Shane, did you want to look at? So we got this almost $1,800 system. What's the specs that already comes with it, though? This is funny. So we do have an, 12,900? Okay. I wasn't expecting that from, in under $2,000 PC, but where's the full specs? I think I have to configure it. Actually, it might not actually have that. Let me see. Where's the configure? So what is in this thing for almost $1,800? Oh my! Wait up, Muhammad. Did you actually take a look at this? We're already. It's down here and it's tiny, but all right. So we got this specific Razer Tomahawk A1 chassis for 1760. We're getting an RTX 3050. That's very embarrassing in my opinion to be in this build. Processor, we're starting with the 12400F. Okay, so it could fit up to an i9 is what the feature page was showing, but as you actually configure it, this is horrible value. You're getting an i5 RTX 3050 for 1760 right now. There's something very wrong with this. Why is this that expensive? And you got a Hyper 212, which is fine. Stock fans, Z690 motherboard for a locked i5 processor. That doesn't make sense to me. We've got 8 gigabytes. Oh my god, Maingear. This is bad. 8 gigabytes of memory? The power supply is a 500 watt. Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's like a $30 to $40 power supply. Holy crap. This is horrible. Under quick ships. Wait, Mohammed says... So looking at their configuration thing, it's horrible. But Mohammed says they have pre-built ready to ship that's custom built. Okay, we'll take a look at some of those. But let me look through the rest just because I think we just found something interesting here. This is such a horrible value. And I'm surprised because I've heard good things about Maingear. And I know they have other better value. But this off the bat is pretty bad. Yeah, it's got like a pretty entry-level Intel SSD. No additional storage. Yep, nothing else. That's it. And then only 1 year warranty? Interesting. I feel like most pre-builts have at least 2 years. But okay, they have another section for pre-builts, gaming desktops, quick ships. Here we go. So yeah, that thing, the configurator, horrible value based off the top. All right, so you want to look at the Razer, but you said you wanted the Razer one, right? I don't see any Razer. So I'm seeing for the quick ships, they have these 4 systems. None of them look to be the Razer one that you're talking about. That 1 year better be free. It was free. It was included. Kryptonic. Okay, so I had a question from someone earlier. Garlic Man asks, hey, no, one last question. I want to flip my first PC, but I don't know where. Also, what kind of profit should I be looking for trying to make? You're trying to flip your first PC. Honestly, if you're flipping, your local market is generally going to be the best place to do it because you're not going to have to pay shipping fees if you're, compared to selling an OfferUp, eBay, or anything else. And you're not going to have to pay any, seller fees, and you technically don't have to pay taxes on it. Because if you're dealing with cash, yeah, you don't have to pay taxes, which, yeah, you're evading taxes, whatever. I'm not paying taxes on something that I'm selling that I met up and traded, hand in hand, cash for object. I'm not doing it. But Jawa, I would say, would be the next best place online that I would sell if I could not sell locally. Just because, if your local market, there's zero interest, nobody's buying. I think Jawa, you would reach a lot of people, and they take the lowest fees. I don't know how much your build is costing, but how much are you trying to make? Honestly, for flips, I would say it's fair to charge an additional 100 to 150 on labor on top of the parts. If you got any good deals, then you can take the difference between what the current going prices for those things are and what the deal you got is, and maybe add that to the total as well, or maybe something in between there. So, yeah, I don't do it percentage wise because unless it's a budget build, then I wouldn't charge an extra 150 on top of it, because you're not gonna be able to flip a $200 PC again and try to add 150 on top of it unless you got some crazy good deals. So yeah, I would try locally pretty hard, and if not, I would check out Jawa. If you do a good job, usually the builds there would move if you have a decent price. Terabyte asks, will a 10700F bottleneck at 3090 Ti? I would say will it bottleneck? Yes, there are situations where it'll bottleneck it. Do I think this is a decent pairing, or is it an okay pairing? Yes, I think you can pair a 3090 Ti and a 10100F. You're just going to be changing your resolutions and your in-game graphic settings accordingly to maximize the 3090 Ti. So for these builds, okay, did Mohammed respond? Because I actually wanted to take a look and see. Mohammed, they have pre-built ready shipped that's custom built. Okay, did he say anything else? He did not. So there are no Razer R1 special editions here in their ready to ship from what I can see. They only have 4. And from these, what do you guys think is the best value just by looking at the graphics card and the price? I think these two are already gone. These two are off the table. You not for $2,600. 3080s right now are going for like $800. So I'm thinking 30. Ooh, I've been seeing a lot of pre-builds have 3070 builds for like $1,600, $1,700. So I don't know if I would say if any of these are that good of value. Under quick ships, they still have it. I am. Oh, that's a. Sorry, I'm clicking quick ships. You see me clicking it up here? I'm not seeing the Razer thing. Am I blind or something? Or I'm in Maingear's quick ships, right? Awesome Sock Junior says, I'm a big fan. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, Jason Plays Games 2 says, you can buy a Razer Basilisk X gaming mouse and put the Razer sticker right here and call it a Razer themed PC. Yeah, so Mohammed, I'm not seeing it. Can anyone help me out? Why there's no Razer R1 special edition PC here under the quick ships, like he's saying. But all right, Cuddler for Life. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Worst gaming pre-built I've ever had was an older Zotac Mech 1. Zotacs did pre-builts? It had an i7 7700 in it and a 1070 Ti, but the 1070 Ti ran at 80 to 83. 80 to 83, I would say that's like on the warm side, but I wouldn't be too alarmed, especially if that's under full load. I mean, yeah, ideally you don't want to go like a lot of my builds, they typically max out in like the high 70s. Going into the 80s isn't ideal, but there are just some games that run graphics cards hotter. You'll see like in some of my benchmarks, even though like the GPU is being fully stressed, there are situations or certain games where I can go from like one game to another. Like I think Apex Legends is one that specifically for whatever reason runs the CPU hot. And then when I flip to another game, it runs cooler. So yeah, there are games that just the way that I guess they're programmed or optimized, they run the hardware differently. So yeah, so I'm just gonna look at this cheapest build because this one looks like if there's any value, it would be this one. So we got a 3060 Ti Founders Edition. Hey, they actually have an accurate picture showing the Founders Edition 3060 Ti in there. So this is actually a very clean looking build. 5600X, Hyper 212, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabyte SSD with the 1 terabyte. So I was going to complain there if there wasn't an additional HDD, but still, I would rather take the $40 that this thing costs and throw it up here to get you a 1 terabyte SSD. 500 watt power EVGA power supply, that'll work, but in terms of future upgrades, you're gonna be cutting it close. For a $1,600 build, why are they putting in like a $30 to $40 power supply into this? Like they're using at least a well-known brand. We don't know which model this is, so it could be one that is known to not perform well, but we don't know. Windows 10 and then an RGB lighting kit. 1 year included warranty. Yeah, I mean, they don't... Wow, this is a very plain page. One of the plainest pages I've seen for a pre-built company, actually. There's nothing else. Usually there's more information or benchmark results or something like that. But yeah, there's nothing else here. Their profit... Kryptonic says their profit margin is healthy. Is all I have to say. Yeah, but again, Maingear is a pretty big company. I don't... Oh, okay. Here's a question for you. For not you, Luis, but are you okay with pre-built? All right, this is I think this kind of came up with the overkill thing too. So the question is, Are you okay with pre-built companies charging a lot extra? So we're talking about like more than just the typical $100 to $200 on top of part pricing. But so we're talking like $300-400 more per build if they treat their employees well. So we're talking about like giving their employees good benefits, paying them well above minimum wage, giving them vacation, giving them a good work environment, things like that. Because I think, sorry about that. I think the Overkill PCs CEO in his TikTok video, he was saying like my employees are happy to work for me and things like that. So if he's charging, $500-600, some of those builds were like $1,000 overpriced, to be honest. But if he's not taking that as profit, but he's actually using that and paying his employees very well, are you okay with it? That's what the question is. And people are voting. Right now, we do have almost a 40-60 split with the majority saying no. Let's see what people are saying in the comments, though. Hypnotic RL says, I would rather just buy my own parts than build myself. Yeah. I mean, I think I would say most of the people in this chat will probably prefer to buy their own because, they enjoy watching PC content and learning to build PCs. But all these pre-built companies exist and they're still thriving for a reason. I guess I would love to know. I know my audience, the split of people who built their own PCs versus buying a pre-built is going to be pretty high on the self-built. But I'm curious, just market share in general, just maybe in the US or globally or whatever, what the percentage of people gaming, not office, not hospitals, not stuff like that, not government, but gaming specifically, how many gamers or what the split is between pre-built versus built themselves. But yes, of course, most of us here would rather build ourselves. TML says, to be fair, that's generally what they have to do to make money. Wait, what do they have to do to make money? Charging a lot extra for pre-builts? How about the companies pay their employees? It's like the tipping culture. This is a good point, actually, because I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I always tip, but I just wish that tip was already incorporated into the price. Because when for all the people that tip, there's also people who just don't tip, and they're still getting the same service and goods and stuff just because they're being very stingy. So it kind of evens out the playing field if you take that tip and you force it into the price already, because the people who wouldn't have tipped, they're still not tipping, but they're paying the, adjusted price. But no, I completely agree. Every company and like every CEO and stuff is different. We don't know like if a company is doing very well and they can afford to pay their employees better without passing it on to the customers, but some companies are just barely surviving and they just don't have that option. So it's kind of hard to say. But in an ideal world, employees and are paid fair, and tipping and over egregious prices just wouldn't be a thing. Jucifer says, I mean, they should find a happy medium to have good prices and be competitive, then still find a way to have good benefits / pay for people. Yeah, I agree there. That's kind of the art and balance of running a business well, right? Making sure you're still getting good profits and the people under you are happy, and your customers, keep coming back because of the service and prices you have. Jason plays games too. They should be treated in the first place is what I meant. So, let's see. Yes, I guess the question I should have specified. Assuming that it's either a company charges get like slim margins and everyone's making minimum wage, or they're charging a lot over, but everyone's making like $30-40 an hour, get good benefits and all that stuff. And Jucifer says, I think most people who buy pre-built are willing to spend a little more. Yeah, I would think so too. Most people who are buying pre-builts, there's so much like there's so much information out there, and if you ever post it on Twitter, I'm looking for a pre-built, everyone's gonna tell you you save money by building yourself. So I think people who buy pre-builts are well aware. There's just some people, and I know some of these people, some of my friends in real life actually, who are just not interested in buying their own PC parts. They would rather just buy something and deal with a company should anything go wrong, even though they know me, just because they don't want to bother me and stuff like that. But yeah, I know plenty of people who just want to buy a pre-built and just be done with it. Not everyone. It's just like with cars, for example. Not everyone wants to work on their cars. Car heads and like people are interested in like being a mechanic and stuff like that. You can work on your car and change your oil and do all that stuff for way cheaper than what a dealership costs. But the average person does not work on their own car. So just apply that same logic to why people don't want to work on their own PC. We did get a super chat. Jonathan Talks Hardware. I don't know why your picture is not coming up right, but to be honest, I like to have enough money for something else. Yeah, if you could build yourself, save the what you would spend on top of it. Okay, if you got, I can't believe it's already been an hour into stream already. So if you guys have anything you want to look at on Twitter, PC Partpicker list, any specific pre-builts, Shane, I'm not sure if you're still there. If you want to take a look at your Australian pre-built PCs, post them into Twitter because I'll be going through those. Chat's moving pretty fast right now, so yes, so chat's moving pretty fast, so I'm not able to answer everyone's questions here, but on the Twitter side of things, it's in chronological order, and I can go over there to take a look at all of that. So let's see. Someone's PC just blew up? What? CA says my PC just blew up. WTL. OMG, what happened? It actually blew up? But how are you back on? Are you on phone right now? And if your PC is actually dead, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. Let's see if I can play this. Oh, let me clear that out of the way. Subscribe, like, hit the bell notification if you haven't yet. Like I said earlier, we do have some... Actually, we have really cool content coming. Like, this next video is probably one of the coolest projects that I've worked on for a while. It's not just a standard, budget PC build or something like that. It's not just a standard Craigslist pickup. It's beating StockX's authentication system. So make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications on for that. Shane Eslick, you are there. Can you submit your pre-built? Oh, you don't have a Twitter? Okay. Stream was too much fire, that's why the PC blew up. Shane Eslick, can you just let me know what the PC name is? Just copy and paste it into the chat. Because you can't send links, and then I'll pull it up. Oh, okay. So, YouTube is telling me to run ads right now. Now would be a good time to insert ads, an hour into the stream. I do need to get water, but I'm not going to run ads just because, honestly, we've been having some pretty good super chats and stuff tonight, and the memberships have been going well. So, I don't want to interrupt the stream with an ad, so let me get a refill of water. I'll be right back. All right. Mohammed says Skytech PCs from Best Buy have slightly lower quality than the ones from their website. Level Chan says, when's the LAN party video coming? That's still gonna be a bit out. I haven't had a chance to start sorting through that footage yet. It's a lot of footage. But when I get in the zone and I start doing it, it goes kind of fast, depending on how many distractions I have. But David Shee says, "What should you pay for an RTX 3060 realistically? Having a 5600X to pair, a 3060, honestly." I personally wouldn't pay more than right now. You guys hear that? That's Melissa baking upstairs. You want to say it? I'm gonna close the door. I wouldn't pay more than MSRP for any NVIDIA card right now. So 3060, I wouldn't pay more than 330. There's no reason it should be over 330 right now. What would you pay for a used 3080? 450 to 500? Yeah, I think that's a really good price. Are you kidding me? A 3080, you can't, like, a used 3080 for that price, like, blows a brand new 6700 XT out of the water. Bryce Bone says, "Guys, I need a cheaper end GPU that can run decent games good enough that's in stock. What's the move?" Bryce, what does cheaper mean? To some people, cheaper means under 200 bucks. To some people, cheaper is under 300 bucks, which we know what the move is. The move is what's pinned in the comments right now. If you have $250, but you always gotta put a price. You can't ask for advice and not give how much money you have. Mohammed says 4K gaming is gonna be light work for 4000 series cards. We'll see. Which 4K gaming? You talking about Cyberpunk 4K? You talking about like Assassin's Creed Valhalla 4K? Or are you talking about like, you know, Fortnite and things like that, which current cards can already run it decently at? Micro Center's doing a buy a i7 17 or 11700K, get a Asus Z59. What's that going for though at Micro Center? The 11 to get a free motherboard is pretty nice. That'll save you like around 150 bucks. I'm assuming that's just like a lower end Z590 board. But let's see what their Micro Center. So if this is the price, so for 270, you're getting a i7 11700K and a motherboard. Yeah, that's a really good deal. My opinion is a great deal, actually. Do you still get the $20 discount for the paired motherboard or no? Oh, that's a $200 board? Z590B. Z. 189. Newegg has it for what? Newegg has it for one. I mean, is this the board, or is it a different one? I don't know what the specific board is. We didn't get all the details, but hey, what's up, Tommy TX? Tommy Texas, or just Tommy TX? Brand new in box ROG Strix 3080 LHR, $1,000. Copper drop. Do you really want to pay that Asus Strix like premium tax? I paid it because we were looking for the white one for my friend. I literally paid it. Because I passed the savings on to him, and I took the hit on that from my own wallet. But there are other 3080s out there for cheaper. I personally, I can't recommend that. Is Dell Outlet any good? Says Basu Ramlogan. Yes. Yeah, I would say Dell Outlet's pretty good. Obviously, you got to know what you're buying from there. Like, their Alienware stuff is pretty discounted, as well as some of their XPS towers and things like that. But it's a good alternative if you can't find anything like in your local market, like people selling Dell towers and things like that. You could get some decent stuff that's gonna be priced better than like eBay at Dell Outlet. Fair price for a used 3080? I mean, $600, I think, because you can get them new for a little bit over 700, unless the market's just going all over the place in the last week or two. But yeah, you can buy a brand new 3080 for $679. That's a 3070 Ti. Sorry, the cheapest 3080 brand new, and it comes with games, 4 games. It's gonna be $740. So yeah, I would say $600 for a new 3080 would be a pretty decent deal. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so let's see. We can keep looking at pre-builds. Yeah, not a lot of times people have questions on specific pre-builds or on anything else. So we can just keep talking, as well as yes, 2706 did submit the issue that they were having though. I can't enter into my Windows account because of this first picture. So I tried to reset the whole PC by using the menu second picture. Then I press the reset on this PC. I click on do not keep the files because I don't have anything important on the fourth. Okay, so what's going on? Okay. This isn't in English, which makes it difficult for me. But what this looks like to me is there's something wrong with your Windows like startup. This happened. This happened in the video that I did back in like February for Kevin's PC. For whatever reason, yeah, it ended up being we had to reinstall Windows. So what you're saying is you tried to reset the whole PC using the menu second picture. So you tried to run a you said the second picture? So it sounds like you tried to run what's it called? Like a system restore, either that or like a reformat, and that didn't work. Which Windows built-in tools it's literally dog crap. It's so bad. And then none of this worked. There should be an option here to try to repair startup. That never worked, like ever. What you need to do is, hopefully you have another computer, because this computer is pretty much borked. You need another computer. You need to make a new Windows bootable thumb drive. Then you need to use that thumb drive, just like I've shown in the tutorials on my channel. You plug it in, you spam whatever the boot selection is, F11 or F10 or whatever, and then you select to boot from the USB drive. That'll go into the Windows installation process. You go into there, you delete everything that's on your current drive right now, because it says you don't need to keep the files. So if you want to, you could try to back it up using a second PC, but if you don't need it, just use your thumb drive in the partition selection in the Windows install. You select that drive, you clear it off, and then you reinstall on it. I don't know what causes this to happen. I've seen this happen randomly, like out of nowhere. So that's the most advice I can give to you. You need to reinstall from a bootable thumb drive. You cannot use the built-in tools, which are corrupt. So Brian says, Brian, aka LuckyX Gaming 12, asked the question, what's the best pre-built company with good prices and parts? Maybe around $1,300. Honestly, let's take a look at NZXT, their open box, or not Next. For $1,300, you are just a few hundred short of getting like a 3070 system. But we may be able to find in their where is it at? Where is their gaming PCs, build kits? Where is their... They've had some pretty good deals in the past. Where's their used stuff? NZXT clearance. What was it called? I don't remember off the top of my head. NZXT, is this clearance? Nope. Used builds? Refurbished builds is what it's called. How come I could not find it from this menu? Okay. All refurbished sales are final. So that's the only thing you need to realize with NZXT. Let's see what they have for $1,300 is what you're looking for. So, right here we got, okay, this has a 3050 in it, so I wouldn't really recommend it, even though it does have a 10700K. It also has a tiny SSD. Wow. So they're right now, I would keep checking this. This is constantly changing, but right now NZXT doesn't have too many things. It's only 1100 or it pops right up to 1800. And this 1100 one I would say is not that great of a deal. Gamers Nexus review on NZXT customer support is terrible, and if your PC ships broken, then you're SOL. I don't know. I've seen, because I follow NZXT on Twitter and, you know, they interact and stuff with people. I've seen a lot of also good stories from like NZXT's customer support. I wouldn't say theirs is any worse than other companies. Every company's gonna have stuff slip through the cracks, and they're gonna have some low percentage of things not going right. With the whole Gamers Nexus thing, I think that actually helps NZXT out because they had such like they were basically put on blast, right? So from that point on, and they're well aware of that video existing, I think that would have just caused them to step up their customer service game. If anything, you know, when you get called out, you usually put things in place to fix those issues. So. Jason Whitmer says it's about the size of the SSD, or it's about the size of the SSD. Well, first of all, Jason, you already screwed this up because you said it wrong. It's supposed to be, it's not about the size of the SSD. It's how you use it. Don't storage shame, bro. But no, it is about the size of the SSD. 250 gigabytes is abysmal, and you should be ashamed. Just kidding. If you have a 250 gigabyte boot drive out there, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But if you are a pre-built company putting that into $1,000 PCs, you should be ashamed as a pre-built company. Or as a PC flipper, if you're putting in 250 gigabyte SSDs just so that you could cut on costs, you're doing your customers a disservice. Because once that fills up, they're going to have to go through the hassle of cloning it and moving on to a bigger drive and stuff like that. So don't screw your customers over with cheap, tiny drives. But okay, to answer the question though, $1,300, let's take a look at Skytech. A lot of people have been saying good things about Skytech PC. So let's see what they have on their website, which apparently is better than the Best Buy listings. So Skytech, what do we have? Back to school deals of the week. Okay, we got $1,000 system here, $1,300, boom, right here. Let's take a look at both of these. We got the Azure, which is on sale right now for $200 off, and then we have a $1,000 build here. $1,000 build has a 6600. Yo, shout out to Skytech for having a kind of like more entry-level AMD card that's not a 6500 XT. But they have a 6600 in here, okay? 16 gigs of RAM, B560 board, 11400. Okay. You know, mesh front case, tempered glass case, pretty standard there. 1 terabyte SSD. Let's go, Skytech. On a $1,000 build. 600 watt. We don't know what power supply this is. It does have Wi-Fi. So this one's actually not too bad of value. You can build this for maybe cheaper. But not that, you're not going to build it for that much cheaper. This is actually pretty good. Wi-Fi, Windows, all that stuff. Sent to you, already built, ready to go out of the box. So this isn't bad. So LuckyX Gaming / Brian. I'm going to link this to you in here. So we're going to put that one. And possibly, let's take a look at Azure. Azure, $1,300. We got a 10400. What? Why are we going backwards? You got the $1,000 build with the 11400F. Then you got the $1,300 build with the 10400. This has a 3060 Ti in it though. Okay, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, same thing, everything else. I'm a bit puzzled by this processor choice. I mean, it pairs well with the 1060 Ti. For 1300 though, I would hope for a 12th gen, you know. But this looks like an Inwin case. Yeah, it's like the Inwin 301 or something, isn't it? Which we don't see too often. I don't know. Inwin was, when they first came out, pretty big, doing a lot of good stuff. But I feel like Inwin cases have not been innovative recently. So I would say between these two, I would go for the $1,000 one. There might be more, but let me see. Pre-built. Here's a $1,400. Let's see what their $1,400 one has. 16. Okay, 13. Chrono. Wait, what? Chronos starts at $13.99. When I click on Chronos, it does not start at $13.99. You can modify it. This one, 1600 for a 3070 build with the Ryzen 3700X. Come on, why are they going last gen on this? When you start getting up to a certain price range, I think it starts kind of being unacceptable to use previous generation parts. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Lucky X Gaming, I don't know if it does, because we couldn't find one for 1300, but I would keep an eye out on NZXT's refurbished, or any of the companies that have refurbished sections of their pre-builts, because usually you're gonna get like a couple $100 at least discount there. So okay, let's see. Salma asked, oh crap. All right, so we're going in order. Salma asks, should I buy this? I have a GTX 1060 6GB and a 600-watt power supply. I could buy a gaming PC. Let's see. I can buy a gaming laptop, but should I buy a PC? It's a hard question. Why would you mention a laptop unless you're like a student or if you like travel a lot? If not, laptops, you pretty much lock yourself into that configuration. It is very expensive to find parts to upgrade in laptops. Plus, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So if you have a laptop, you kind of have to be okay with the fact that you're not going to be upgrading the CPU or the GPU down the line once it's time to upgrade. You're going to be replacing the whole thing. If you buy a desktop, which is why most people would prefer it, yeah, you can use some of the parts over again and save money when it's time to upgrade. But you're asking if you should buy this. Okay, so this is your Newegg's cart, it looks like. Okay, the Mach-Cube 310, $40, not bad. That case was never worth really $80 in the first place, was it? Western Digital, $250. You should not buy the, yeah, you should not buy this. The SN570, you should be able to get a 500GB one for like $45. Don't buy a 250GB one for $39. That's not a good price. 10100F for $67 price is fantastic. A B560 board for $60, also really good. So those are fine. 16GB of 3200 MHz RAM for $50. That's fine too. Yeah, so I would say you can buy the motherboard, RAM, and processor. Please spend the extra $5 to get a 500GB SSD. Do not buy a 251. The case is fine, and you're going to put a GTX 1060 into it with a 600-watt power supply. Yep, I think that works well. So I would go for it. Just replace this SSD, please. What do we got here? We got Kevin, or aka Extreme Zone 987. Curious what you think of this company. They also have pre-built. Stoneforge Tech. Didn't we look at this the previous week? Or maybe it was a different one that had a similar name. So honestly, like these companies, I feel like they're starting to run out of different adjectives and like nouns that they can use. So a lot of these company names are starting to just like blend together in my head. So let's see what we got here. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So Kevin says Curious what you think of this company. I've never heard of this company. Have y'all heard of this? We haven't run a poll for a little bit. We're gonna end the last poll, which people did say that more people than not are not okay with companies charging extra. They need to figure out a way to balance everything. So that's fair. Okay, have you heard of this company? All right, so let's take a look at this while people are answering. What? Stoneforce.tech. This is interesting. Oh, okay. So when you pick, change the price. So what do we got here? Is this their front page? So I go here, pre-built PCs. Let's take a look. Yeah, 3 years ago, SSDs were a lot pricier than they are now. So that's cool. Or that's okay, Patrick. These are okay. Art. So this is a Canadian company. Interesting. So should I assume this is in CAD? And I wish there's a different symbol. But all the pre-builts. Wow, look, they're claiming mythic gaming PCs. They're claiming like giving. What's up with companies that do this? Are you really giving this as a discount? Who in the right mind gives that big of a discount unless your thing was already overpriced in the first place? $1,100 off, $1,281 off. Epic PCs, wow. Even some of these, they're apparently claiming, hey, the price of this one's not bad, actually. Apparently $1,030 off, but let's take a look at this. This is actually pretty interesting. All right, so $1,530 CAD to USD. We're talking, no way, $1,200? What are the prices? This is a 5600X with the RTX 3070 in it for $1,530 in US pricing. That's not bad. But if that's Canadian converted to US pricing, that's $1,200, which is that's a good deal because it's got 16 gigs of RAM and a 500 gigabyte SSD. I don't really care about the motherboard and power supply if it's actually $1,200 USD and it has a 3070 and a 5600X in it. And yeah, it looks like they named their stuff after swords. It's Claymore, two-handed sword. It's USD, not CAD. Okay, never mind. So it's $1,530, which again is not a bad price, honestly. The original price was horrible. They had this originally up to $25.60, but okay, this isn't. If you're shipping to the US, this is probably gonna be a bad deal because it's gonna cost more to ship and to get it over the border. So they've also got this build, which doesn't seem too horrible. 5600G. This one's actually not too good, assuming US pricing. But the Claymore one, not bad. 98% of the people who voted have never heard of this. So yes, this is a very niche. Again, there are so many of these companies out there, and they're existing, right? If they didn't have business, they wouldn't have a website up, or maybe they don't have a business. I've never heard of this. This could be a scam. You could put your order in and you might get nothing. I don't know how long it takes to take down a website or people who are scamming like that. But I'm just going to assume this is a company that's in business, that's like known in Canada. So yeah, a company I've never heard of, but here they are. Tons of these exist. We're trying to find the ones that have the really crazy good value, but just from seeing their pricing, their sale pricing is fine. Their pre-sale pricing seems pretty horrible, and I hate it when companies do that strategy of always having something on discount, because this looks stupid. $10.30 off. No. But thanks for showing us that, Kevin, aka Extreme Zone. All right. What do we got from the chat here? Have Steve look into it. He'll get the dirt. Yeah. Dude, Steve's way too busy. He can't go tracing down all the leads on all the drama that's going down in the pre-built space. Jason plays games too. Says my cousin bought his PC from them. but I was going to buy from them, but he wouldn't tell me exactly the model. Stoneforge owner is a good friend of a friend. Got it. Thanks for the reminder, Joe. Who does? Steve from Gamers Nexus gets into the weed of too much? Yeah, some of his videos are too long form for people. But all right, we got Tyler's question here. I have two builds I currently own. First one has a 10850K liquid cooled 32 gigs of RAM, 3070 Ti. Second one has a 12700F air cooled with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Which one should I use? What, man, are you just trying to flex the fact that you have two very capable modern systems? Honestly, I would use probably the one with, well, I would move the 32 gigabytes of RAM. I would probably use the one with the 3080 in it, and then move the RAM over if I needed more, if 16 gigabytes wasn't enough. But I don't know what kind of question this is. This just seems like a trying to flex. But what was the point of this question? Like, why are you doing certain things where using the i9 over here would be more beneficial than the i7, or are you just gaming? For gaming, the build with the 3080 is going to do better. This i9 is not going to miraculously get you more frames than this build in a majority of situations. Unless you're trying to, for whatever reason, I don't know, push 480p gaming and like hundreds of FPS, that somehow this beats the i7. But yeah. All right, next question. Jonathan H asks, is this a good combo I can build for a $200 PC? So we've got where is this from? Like Mercari or something? $75 for a motherboard CPU combo. We got a i5 2400 and an H77 board. I would say no. You need to be able to get this combo for like 50 bucks or less. Maybe like 45 even. At this price, you're so close to getting like a 10th gen i3 and a motherboard. You're like maybe 30 or 40 bucks away from that. This is just, you don't even know, like, this is so old. It could die in the next month or something. I wouldn't trust anything like this unless it was dirt cheap or given to me for free. I definitely wouldn't be paying 75 bucks for this old of a motherboard and processor. That's a hard pass for me right there. All right, so we got our PC part picker list. Ironside. Hey Brian, thanks for asking that question. I think I checked out Ironside previously and I thought they were overpriced, but maybe if we have time I could take a look at it. I'm just trying to get through all these questions. But we got Nemus Dark, $1,000 list, max performance you could fit. Any feedback? And we gotta play the captcha game again. I am a human, I swear. Click on all the boats. Think almost missed that boat, and we had to redo that again. So we got a $1,000 max performance list. We have a 5700X. Okay, I'm actually excited to see what's in the rest of this. Oh. 5700X, Thermalright, Assassin, yep, $20 cooler, I like it, X570 board, 16 gigs of RAM for 50 bucks, man, I've forgotten how cheap the 5700X is. This build right here, is there anything crazy here? Oh, rose wheel case, which you put in your own custom price in, but there's plenty of cases under 50 bucks, like, if you want to try to squeeze in as low of a price you can, it's whatever. You don't need to fit an X570 board in this build. Let's see what other cheaper boards there are. Because honestly, I don't think they're... I mean, brand new B450 boards are still going to be like, what, 80 or 90 bucks? Let's see. So I guess you could save on the motherboard a bit. This is assuming everything's new, not like, you know, refurbished open box stuff. So let's go to PC Builder. Let's look at a motherboard for AM4, and let's take a look at chipsets, B450, B550, and X570s only. So nothing that can't overclock. So you could either pay on this build $110 for an X570 board. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so like decent coolers and everything on it, probably better VRMs than most of the B450 boards are gonna have. Or you could go for like a, I wouldn't go for a DS3H. Let's see, B450A Pro. Yeah, so the B450 boards, if you're really looking to save money, you could save like $30-ish going for something lower end, just like low end, like we're talking like this, and going micro ATX. But honestly, I think this build is fine the way it is. I guess, would I go down to a B450 board so I could take more money and throw it towards this to try to get into a 1 terabyte drive? I might lean towards that direction. But overall, just looking at the key specs in here, being a 5700X and a 6700 XT for $1,000, I think this is pretty impressive. I'll link this in the chat right now, because if anyone's looking to build a system, this is pretty close to it. You can modify it to choose whatever case you want a little bit, but I think that you did a really good job. Nice work, Nemus Dark. Driver Monkey asked, what's the best PC you could build for $750 to $800? So let's take a look at this build. For $800, we're going down. For $800, you take this build, you go down to a B450 motherboard, you go down to a 5600X, and then you go down to a 6650 or 6600 XT. You change these three things, you're knocking $200 off the price, and yeah, and you're good to go. So I would say, let's see what chat has to say about it. Patrick McGovern says, yeah, that's a killer price for the specs. I would agree. No, I don't think any pre-built company is going to be able to touch this price to performance. No pre-built company out there is putting out a $1,000, let alone like a $1,100 or $1,200 system that's going to touch this. Because most of them at that price, they're putting in Ryzen 5s, they're putting in like 3060s, maybe a 3060 Ti. But it's because, dude, this AMD value is pretty crazy. And again, we are, I would say, partially skimping on the SSD, not going for the full terabyte. But in this case, it's okay. 500 isn't the end of the world. Let's see. Salma says, I will buy a 500 gigabyte. Okay, thanks for taking the feedback. All right, and then we have The Best Gamer 843. Also, Lenovo has pre-builts. Yes, they do. They're Legion Towers. I think we're taking a look at these. Golden Music says, can you build me an NZXT gaming PC? I cannot. I do not build PCs for like for viewers and fans and stuff like that, unless it's like for a project that randomly comes up. But I don't provide that as a service, unfortunately. So let's take a look at the Lenovo Legion. And what do we got here? So this was, you linked me a specific one, The Best Gamer 843. We got 1550. But what are the tech specs in this thing? And you get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. Okay, can I see more? So for 1550, we're looking at what? Some of these websites, their formats are so bad. Like, I have to zoom in to 200% for us to see it like this. 5600G and a 6500 XT with 8 gigabytes of RAM. What the heck? Lenovo. 1550. Oh my goodness. 400 watt power supply. Is this worse than overkill PCs? Is it on the same level, or is it not as bad? I mean, how much is a build with the 6500 XT and a 5600G, only 8 gigs of RAM, not even SSD, and a 400 watt power supply worth? That's worth no more than, like, what, $600? And they're charging almost $1,600 for it? What is this piece of crap? It does have Wi-Fi in it. is that the only like saving grace of this? I mean, the 5600G honestly isn't a bad processor, but this 8, oh my, I'm just highlighting all of this right here. These 4 rows for this price. Lenovo Legion laptops are awesome. They're usually priced pretty well. What the hell is this tower though? 8 gig, yeah, and no, like, you cannot game with 8 gigabytes and have a good experience for most games in this day and age. It's going to be Stutter City if you're trying to play anything remotely recent. Yeah, Extreme Zone. I would even say 800 for this system is asking for a lot. Honestly, yeah, this is bad. To be fair to the case, I actually don't mind the case though. Do they put what case they use? I don't think they do. These Lenovo Legion cases, I think actually look pretty decent. They're like a nice simple square design with like airflow in the front, all that stuff. So yeah, I think this actually looks not bad at all. But the pricing's horrible. So yeah, we're okay. I think that's gonna be it for notifications, which is actually perfect timing. We have about 15 minutes left in stream. I'm gonna hang out in chat. We could pop back into the browser if people have certain questions. But I'm just gonna hang out with you all for the rest of the night because we've been on the browser side a lot. So we're gonna go back to highlighting comments and just answering people's questions. Probably not even dual channel, one stick on that Lenovo Legion tower, says Craig Lilly, which I would probably agree with that. Plus, probably has proprietary parts in it. Like the Legion towers, I think usually have some proprietary motherboard. Cool Kid 3000, do you mind talking about the NZXT starter PC? Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, but yeah, we could quickly do that. Okay, so we're gonna go to the starter PC. So their starter, whoa, did they raise the price? Oh, no. This is a starter PC, not the one with the APU in it. I got their names mixed up. I was thinking of the Foundation PC, but the starter PC is a $1,000 system that has a 10400F and a 3050 in it. See, this is where I was saying I don't think any pre-built could touch the value of this that we just looked at. So we know NZXT has to put in like 100 to 200 bucks worth of labor and, you know, and fees for pre-builts on top of it. So they're not going to be able to squeeze out as much performance. But still, even then, let's say if this was an $800 PC, I don't think this would be that great of a value considering you're going 2 gens, gonna be 3 gens soon on the processor and the 3050, where you can pay $1,000. I would pay $1,000 and buy these parts and take it to someone and ask them to build it for me for 100 or 150 bucks. Again, but they have Windows on this one. On here, you have to like figure it out yourself and install it yourself. And you have to either buy a gray market key or a really ridiculously expensive retail key. So just from a value, if you had $1,000, I would urge you to try to learn how to build your own PC, follow tutorials on how to make a bootable Windows thumb drive, and try to build this system right here. For $1,000 here, though, I would have wanted them to use an AMD card. The 3050, I do not think is worth being $1,000 PC. So, if you do a small upgrade though, because with all the NZXT PCs, you can go to like a starter, you can like add 100 or 200 bucks. Let's see what 200 more dollars gets you here. You get up to the 3060 and you still have the 10400F. This is where we're starting to get in line with what most companies are going to be charging for a 3060 PC. It's going to be around this price. You still get your 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD. So not crazy good value on this at the moment. I would wait for a sale or something, or just build from here. So hopefully that helped. Sergeant Reaper 22 says, I went with NZXT, never had an issue, and replaced my case AL and new case fans. Yeah, so honestly, I think NZXT is a great company, and sometimes they have really good prices, but other times they're just kind of middle of the pack. So it depends on when you're looking. Kenny D says, hey Danny, have you checked out the RX 6700 non-XT? I think it's great value. How much are those even going for? Like, that's something that never pops up in any of my searches. Let's see. Sorry about that. Wait, did you mean 5700 non-XT or 6700? The RX 6700 was only, I think that's only a OEM card, isn't it? I've never seen one in the wild, and I've never seen one in like on Newegg or anything. So right here we have RX, wait, 6700 series graphics card. I'm not, yeah, there's no 6700 non-XT, which is what you were asking about. 6700 non-XT. Andre Williams says Danny's sick and has the Rona. It is not the Rona. I'm sure of that because I've gotten tested multiple times and no one from Milan got it, and I sleep in the same bed as my wife for like the last ever, and she's fine too, unless we're both asymptomatic. But I'm pretty confident it's not the Rona. Yeah. So what? There's no. Hey, thanks Kevin O for the reminder to drink water, which I'm already almost out, but stream's almost over, so I think it's fine. Yeah, there's no 6700 non-XT, so I don't know what the question actually is, but is there a Sapphire Pulse 6700? How is this not one of the first things that pop? Oh, here we go. I do not know a single person who has used one of these. All right, 6700. Let's see if we can find this thing. Because even when I select 6700, there's one card. Is it? Why is there only one card? Sapphire Pulse. Okay, this thing exists. I've never seen any performance numbers on this. It was a mining card they released to gamers after the crypto crash, says Chris Pittman. I've never seen any news about this. So it's a mining card, apparently, but it still has all the the I/O on the back. There's still what looks to be like one HDMI and 3 DisplayPort. So it's not like the other kind of mining cards where they like have only one output. But yeah. What are my thoughts on this? Honestly, I don't know. Let's take a look at the Tom's GPU hierarchy chart just for a quick reference. I don't even know if they benchmarked this, and I don't know if any of the bigger channels have used this card. So let's take a look at this real quick. So this pretty much has all the modern cards, and it looks like Tom's Hardware did update this recently, but it sounds like the 6700 thing is kind of like a random card that only happened after the mining crash. So maybe they haven't had a chance to yet, or they don't even plan to ever add it to this chart. So I have no idea where the 6700 like falls between these two. So how much is it going for? 360 or 370? Mostly, dude. Wait. We got okay. This is what we're gonna do. 370. We're gonna take a look right now at the performance of this thing, because I know there's benchmarks on this. I know there is. We're gonna look at it versus the 6700 XT. We're gonna look at side-by-side benchmarks, and we're gonna figure this out. Ancient gameplays. Okay, I think I've seen this person before, so I think we can trust their benchmarks. Yeah, they're a relatively known channel. So let's see. So where is the performance numbers? Okay. So what are the numbers we're looking at? 125, 139, Red Dead Redemption, 122. How's the 60? Oh, this is against the 6600. I don't want to see that. Of course it's going to beat the 6600. I care about it versus the 6700 XT. Like, if you look at FPS, we're looking at high 90s versus So maybe about 10 to 15 performance, 10 to 15% performance, but for $100 cheaper, that doesn't seem like a bad value. I would have to calculate the FPS per dollar, but this seems priced pretty accordingly. $100 ish off, maybe like $80 to $100 off of a 6700 XT. And I mean, from the numbers, if these are real, which it looks like they are, these look like legitimate benchmarks. I would say this is a card that people should consider. I'll definitely do more research on it because I don't know too much about it. But thanks for bringing this up. This is actually pretty cool. And you get the bundle too with this one. It has 2 gigabytes less VRAM. Honestly, 10 gigabyte. We're talking about a $370 card. For the build that you're putting this into, which could easily fit into a $1,000 PC build, I'm not really going to complain about not having 12 gigabytes of video memory. But that's just me. Like, I know people, and especially like I think Hardware Unboxed, he always mentions if something has less VRAM. To me, VRAM, you gotta take it into context. We're talking about a $370 card here. 10 gigabytes is gonna be fine. Trust me. Can you send? Yep, let me send this link to chat. Because this is actually very interesting. Okay, so let me get the short link for you here. All right. Oops, I should have put 6700 non-XT. Yeah, so if you want to check it out, click on that and see what this is all about. But thanks for bringing this up. This is really cool. Jay-Z asks, do you think customizing a custom build on NZXT is worth it? We can take a look real quick. It's all over the place. I think some of these custom pre-builders, they're not up to times with the graphics card pricings. But let's see, we go to a where is it? Build your own custom PC. We're gonna go for like, let's say $1,500. What is AMD gonna try to throw at us for this much? Patrick McGovern says, I got my 5700 XT for right at 300 and it had 2 games with it. Nice. I need to look into if I actually got any games with this Power Color Fighter card. I'm going to be kind of salty if I just missed out, because I am interested in playing the new Saints Row that's coming out. I'm going to be salty if I missed out on that by buying on Prime Day and not waiting till now. But to be fair, Prime Day was, what, like 3-ish weeks ago? Alright, so if we look at the summary, NZXT, we have to select a different item, but, oh! They do have it. Hey, I'm not sure if it was because I actually told them directly when I did a video with them, like, what's up with you not having any AMD cards? They do have it, but their pricing on it's kind of out of whack. So I would say, unless you can find like a GPU, let's put in a 3060 Ti, and then we have to pick a different CPU. So we'll pick a 12600K. If we go to summary here, we're at a $2,300 system, and we only have a 3060 Ti and a 12600K. So yeah, I would say right now NZXT's custom builder is not looking that good in terms of value. Okay, we do have to end stream soon here, so no more browser stuff, but I can still pull up comments. I'm loving this. Let me know what you think about this whole comment pulling up stuff. I'm liking having like a reference when I'm talking, especially since when chat moves so fast, sometimes I'm talking and I forget what the original question is because it gets lost in the ether and I start ranting too much. But now if I put something on the screen, I know exactly what we are, what we're talking about. Cool Kid 3000, can you send the link to the PC you recommend in chat? Honestly, right now, tonight, we didn't find anything that was too great that I would recommend. Except for that PC Partpicker list, which, where did that thing go? This PC Partpicker list would be the only. My only recommendation for tonight is this PC Partpicker list by Nemus Dark. Which, thank you, Nemus, for putting that together and sharing it with the stream. Dr. Kulo says, much better quality live. What do you mean by that? Patrick McGovern says, compared to a lot of other people, you're super responsive to your stream, which is one of the things I really like. Thank you. Yeah, I honestly, a lot of the times when I'm watching streams that have like over, 50 to like 100 people, it seems like the people don't read the comments. I try to do the best I can. I am well aware that I cannot answer every single question just because there's way too many people and way too much. But I try to do the best I can. I would say for the most part, unless I'm talking about something that someone asked, I'm, addressing questions. So, Kevin O says he likes these things popping up on screen. Thank you for the feedback. Extreme Zone 987 says, Danny, what's for dinner? So we've been cooking soup all week. We made a spare rib soup and we also made a catfish soup. They're like tamarind / like watercress based. So they're very Asian-y soups. Okay, I'm gonna show you the soups because they're actually delicious. So since I've been sick, I've been eating spare rib soup, which we still have some leftovers. So it looks something like this. We just eat it with rice. And then let's see. Catfish tamarind soup. Let's see if this is a thing. Or is this something? Yeah, so something like this. It's like a sweet and sour soup with, we use catfish instead of whatever chicken or fish. So I'm going to have some kind of soup, try to still get better because I'm not fully recovered yet. But what are y'all eating for dinner tonight is the question. Master Singleton says, thanks for the great stream and I love the comment polling as I've seen other YouTubers using them live. Yeah, I saw another YouTuber doing this, and I was like, all right, I gotta do that. That's pretty awesome. Bankan with catfish. No, I'm not doing any soup with it. I'm just doing it with rice. No bankan. Jason Whitmer says, why doesn't Zach sell his PC on Java? Isn't he part owner? I don't know if he's a part owner, per se. Does having equity in a company, I guess that makes you part owner. Why does he sell on Java? Because probably the fees. If he can sell it on his own website, then why bother paying fees? He always sells out on his own website. I get it's one thing to promote, but on Java right now, it's actually, some people are struggling to sell PCs because of how good the market is right now. Like, selling pre-built PCs 6 months ago is not the same as it's selling right now. People are actually struggling a little bit more to sell right now because anyone can just go out and put together $1,000 6700 XT build apparently. So I wouldn't put anything against Zach for selling on his own website because that way he sells everything out instantly, and if you can do that without having to pay the 6% fees, right? Because it's 3% to Java, 3% to the payment processing. Why do that? The only thing about Zach's is I haven't checked from his last sale if he adjusted his shipping, because I think I figured out what he was doing. I think he's using pirate ship and he's charging people the full retail amount, but he pays the pirate ship amount. So yeah, I don't know if he changed that or if he's still charging like $100 to ship out PCs no matter how much they cost. But he could probably justify it because boxes and foam and stuff, you could argue that costs a lot of money. So double boxing, that would probably cost you the difference in price, $30 or so to do. Jackson Williams, is RX 6600 good to pair with the Ryzen 5 2600? I would say so. Yeah, you will be upgrading the 2600 soon after, but for the time being, I would say you can stick with the 2600. You don't have to upgrade both at the same time. Going to the 6600, you'll still have a good experience with your older 2600. We got a $1 super chat with no message from Dubai. I'm thinking that's supposed to say Dubai. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. All right. We got pasta salad and ham. We got salmon, broccoli, and mashed potatoes. That all sounds good. Master Tinker is having some chicken capicium. Wait. Capsicum? What is that? Stir fry with jasmine rice. Looks like a... Okay, it's like a chicken stir fry. Got it. Chicken strips and gravy. Homemade or bought from somewhere like KFC or something like that. Chicken strips and gravy sounds so good right now, but I need super dinner. So we got Kevin Go with a barbecue brisket sandwich for dinner. Nigerian fried rice. That sounds interesting. I'm trying to think of what countries I've had fried rice from. Probably mostly the Asian countries. Oh, okay. That's a red pepper. Got it. Homemade chicken lo mein. That sounds good. All right. So that's gonna wrap it up for the stream. Had a little bit over 2 hour stream. I want to thank you all again, as always, for all the people who just continue to show up week after week. Hopefully you're having a good time on these Wednesday evenings. You know, however you want to spend your evening. I am having an amazing time. Every stream, I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm never getting bored of these streams. We always have new stuff to talk about. We always have new stuff to look at. And we always have new people who we could potentially help out. So I want to give a shout out to all you guys out there. You know, members, non-members, mods, OG day one viewers, new viewers. Thank you for making these streams as successful as they are. Again, appreciate all the channel members and the gifted members as well. Be on the lookout. Hey, 21B Talks, thank you for the super chat. You have a good night yourself. But be on the lookout for the next video, which I'm really hoping is going to be the StockX video. This is going to be like one of the most unique videos, like I would say in the PC tech space. Because everyone's, honestly, I feel like a lot of people are just doing the same stuff. X dollar budget build, again. I bought the worst rated thing from here, the best rated thing from here, X dollar setup. I got a little bit bored of that. I'm trying to do something that when you watch it, you haven't seen it anywhere else. So that's what this next StockX video is going to be. Hopefully they can hurry up, authenticate the thing I sent in, and then we can go from there. But yeah, everyone have a good rest of your night. Have a good rest of your week. And then weekend coming up. I will see you on the rest of social media as well as in the next stream and or video. Bye. I appreciate all of you.